So I'm Michelle, and I actually got involved. I got into lots of trouble up until, and in 2001, on a manufacturing charge, I decided to go to treatment rather than prison, right down the street from here, way back when it was co-ed. And I got out and I did good. I stayed clean for, not sober, but clean. Which at that time I thought counted for something. It really didn't. And so I didn't use drugs for 9 years. Eventually my alcoholism led to drugs and destructive relationships. The combination wasn't right. They didn't go well together. And I started using and getting involved with the same old people. It seemed like the same people who were there in 2000 really never left. They were just the same tweakers doing the same thing. And it didn't take me long. Within 6 months, my house was being raided by the police for an identity theft ring. And my children were home when it was being raided. They were taken into custody and kind of separated. I went to prison. And while I was in prison, I got to go to the Turning Point program after a year and a half of being there. And my transitions counselor, my court, because of my lengthy prison sentence, I had Judge Waller as well, and I was way past the deadline of getting my child back. So, and while I was in prison, my mother died from hepatitis C, so there was really no other family member for her to go to. So they decided to put her in permanent foster care until she was 18. And my transitions counselor said, "Hey, I know this program in the county that you're prone to." Oh, really? So she set up a interview with Diane. She actually came into the prison, sought me out, and here I've been ever since. So I got to be involved at 6 months before I even hit the gates, and this place has been beside me for more than they have gone to every court date. I'm happy to say my daughter is home and my case is closed from DHS, which Judge Waller probably didn't see that ever happening. I was a lot like Angel. We are actually been friends for like 20 years, so it's just ironic that we're sitting here today.
And we have the same judge.
And we had the same judge. It was just all of the, I too lost my children to Clackamas County DHS in '99, and so I was kind of, and they gave me my children back and said, this is your one chance and your one and only chance, so don't blow it. And I blew it, and I lost my kids to the state again. When I got out of prison, unexpectedly, I got my son back. He actually was placed with his father, and I got him back 3 weeks after getting out of prison on AIP, still considered an inmate. And here I have nothing but a couple bags of donated clothes and this 8-year-old living in an Oxford house going, what the heck? So it was very challenging. I had gotten a telemarketing job that paid minimum wage, getting up at 4 every morning and taking the bus to a job that I absolutely hated, and trying to figure out what to do with this kid in the meantime. Like, what's going on here? And I was I was on the AIP, so I was at the VOA Bridges to Change program, so I had to call every day to see if my number was up to give UAs, and if it was, I had to stop everything to go do that. So trying to get my kid from a daycare, get out here to parenting, or go to give a UA, it was a very long day on the bus as well. But with the support of the center, everybody kind of just pitched in and helped when I needed a ride to go give a UA or to pick up Austin from the Boys and Girls Club. We made it work. I graduated parenting. I've taken healthy relationships, rent well. And today I'm successful. I have 42 months on the 22nd, clean and sober. And sober. My kids, DHS is no longer a part of my life. I, as well as Angel, have a child that did not want to return home. He lives in Bend, so it's away, so I don't get to see him much. Kind of sad. But I do have my 15-year-old daughter and my 9-year-old son at home. So, every day is a challenge. There's always challenges that happen, but somehow with all my support group and my friends, I seem to over jump those hurdles. Today I've gotten my GED since I've been out of prison, my license. Last term I got straight A's in college. Never even thought I'd ever be a college student. Who would have thought? You know, I have goals today, and you know, it's because of the center that I have that.
She's on the housing, like, tell me about your
I'm
house.
getting ready to move into Stevens Creek Crossing Housing, which is out of Rockwood. Yay! 3 bedrooms, so I'll actually have a room of my own. Right now I share with my 9-year-old, so that my 15-year-old can have her own room. So my daughter is involved with the wraparound services because she's got a lot of mental health issues. So between my son and his mental health issues and my daughter, I do 4 therapy appointments a week on top of being a full-time college student and a mom. It's quite a bit, but we make it work. And you know, it's because of services from here, from places like this. You know, that I would have never found a place like this had she not come into prison and said, oh, there's one, she needs us. You know, and I got lucky because when I got out, when I had my first hearing in front of Judge Waller, I had Diane there with me, unlike Angel, who had to go in there and talk for herself. So, you know, I got lucky because the very first hearing, and from there on, you know, I always had lots of support in the courtroom saying, she's doing this, and I never really had a list to fulfill because I went in there with the list already crossed off before she made them. So, you know, I was really lucky, you know. Here I am, clean and sober, and addiction is not in my future.
And or your kids, probably.
Or my kids, you know. My kids are very proud of me, you know. It's like, my oldest just turned 23 yesterday. I was just saying, you know, I'm feeling old. I'm starting to feel old.
Since this was in the Oregonian, and don't talk about it if you don't feel like it, but you came from a
Oh, yes.
pretty harsh
Oh,
place.
yes. Oh, yes. Both my parents were methamphetamine. They made methamphetamine as I was growing up, and I just kind of followed in their footsteps. I started using meth intravenously at 12. So you know, I have a long line. My entire family so when I got out of prison, it was me because there was no family. But as a child, thought there was a place like this, so to speak, and she got the tools to raise me like a mother should, rather than out doing crime with her daughter. Possibly my life would have been different, and I wouldn't have been doing a lot of the things that I was doing. So to speak, for the same thing with me, I didn't have the tools to be, I was parenting what I thought was parenting, but I was just there. I wasn't really parenting, and a lot of times I wasn't there. You know, having kids and parenting are 2 different things. So coming to a place like this and learning how to have conversations with your children, and learning how to have conversations with plans with, you know, people like parole officers or DHS workers, learning how to be a productive person, you know, member of society, and a role model for your kids. These are all things a lot of people like Angel and I had to learn. That wasn't the kind of things we were being taught when they were kids.